Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago PD's Ruzek actor previews one Chicago crossover and reveals which character he spends the most time with. Patrick John Pfluger, who plays Adam Ruzek on Chicago PD, reveals new details about the upcoming One Chicago crossover event. Chicago PD is part of the One Chicago franchise, which also includes Chicago Fire and Chicago Med. Known for its compelling storylines and complex characters, One Chicago brings viewers into the heart of the city's emergency services, focusing on the personal and professional lives of its characters. Over the years, the One Chicago franchise has seen multiple crossovers that have brought together characters from all series. The latest crossover event will premiere on January 29. In a recent interview with TV Insider, Pfluger provided further insight into the next One Chicago crossover's direction, stating that this event will be more grounded than previous crossovers. Rather than focusing solely on rescue sequences, the crossover will delve into the relationships between the characters, providing new perspectives on their personal connections. Check out his comments below. In response to a question about who Ruzek spends the most time with, Pfluger also mentioned that he and Miranda Ray Mayo, who portrays Lieutenant Stella Kidd in Chicago Fire, had a great time working together, as they share a strong personal bond off-screen. He said, "The latest crossover event marks a seminal moment for the franchise by bringing together characters from Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, and Chicago Med. The central event of the three-part episode, a gas explosion trapping people inside a high-rise, sets a precedent for an intense, multi-layered crisis. However, Pfluger's emphasis on the character-driven nature of the event suggests that the emotional stakes will be just as significant as the physical ones for the entourage of characters, offering a more intimate look at the relationships between the first responders. For Pfluger's Adam Ruzek, a One Chicago crossover provides a new opportunity to interact more closely with Stella Kidd, a character he has not shared extensive scenes with in the past. Their partnership seems to be a key element of the event, giving a chance to see new facets of both characters. A shift toward exploring established relationships across the series points toward the interconnectedness of the One Chicago universe, where characters from different departments are often in close contact due to the nature of their work. Over the past 5 years, One Chicago crossovers have featured other significant events, such as another 3-part episode in 2019 titled Infection, which featured a bioterror attack, and a 2017 episode titled Fake, where Chicago PD and Chicago Fire came together to fight a devastating warehouse fire. These plotlines have demonstrated the professional interdependence of the teams in Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med. The character-driven focus of a new One Chicago crossover is an up-to-date and exciting approach for the universe. While previous crossovers have often leaned heavily on dramatic action, this event promises to offer a deeper, more emotional exploration of the One Chicago characters' relationships. Ruzek's scenes with Kidd are particularly intriguing, as they offer a new dynamic between two characters who have a personal relationship outside the series. This thematic shift could provide a more impactful experience for viewers, displaying the heart of the One Chicago series. The gritty streets of Chicago come to life through the intense drama of Chicago PD, and within this world of law enforcement, Adam Ruzek has become a fan favorite. Portrayed by the talented Jesse Lee Soffer, Ruzek is a loyal member of the intelligence unit, known for his quick wit, sharp instincts, and the complicated relationships he navigates. As the show continues to evolve and blend into the One Chicago universe, fans have been eagerly anticipating what's next for Ruzek, particularly when it comes to the crossovers that unite the worlds of Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago Justice. In a recent interview, Jesse Lee Soffer opened up about his experiences with the One Chicago franchise and what it's like being part of such a vast and intertwined world. Soffer, who has portrayed Ruzek since the beginning of Chicago PD, shared intriguing details about his character's journey and the crossovers that fans have come to adore. The actor revealed which character he spends the most time with on-screen, offering insight into the relationships that make Ruzek tick. The thrill of the One Chicago crossovers. Crossovers have become a staple of the One Chicago universe, and for Ruzek, They're more than just an exciting opportunity to see familiar faces from other shows. They also challenge his character in ways that fans don't always expect. Soffer described the crossover events as a thrilling aspect of working within a shared universe. He explained that while they bring a fresh dynamic to each episode, they also require a level of collaboration that can make for some unexpected and intense moments. The crossover events are fun, Soffer said with enthusiasm. They bring together different shows and different characters in ways that you wouldn't expect. Ruzek is always at the heart of these events because of his deep ties to the city and the people he works with. It's cool to see how these characters from other shows come together and how Ruzek has to adjust to different dynamics. It's a fun challenge to keep up with everyone. He went on to explain that the balance between the action-packed cases and the personal relationships that unfold during these crossovers is what makes them stand out. It's not just about solving crimes. There's an emotional depth to Ruzek's interactions with his fellow officers and other first responders. For fans who have watched Ruzek evolve over the years, the crossovers offer a unique opportunity to see him in a new light, whether he's working alongside the heroic firefighters of Chicago Fire or joining forces with medical professionals from Chicago Med. Each crossover brings a little bit of a different vibe to the table. For example, when Ruzek interacts with the Chicago Fire team, there's an adrenaline rush that comes from the high-stakes situations that the firefighters face. But when it's Chicago Med, the tone can shift, and you see Ruzek's softer side, especially when dealing with the victims or those in medical distress. It's a great way to show the different layers of his character, Soffer elaborated. The bonds that shape Ruzek. While crossovers are exciting, Soffer also revealed the character with whom he spends the most time on screen. Fans of Chicago PD may already know the answer, as it's no surprise that Ruzek's closest relationships on the show are with his fellow officers, particularly with Ruzek Hollstead, portrayed by Jesse Lee Soffer's longtime friend and co-star, Jesse Lee Soffer. Their chemistry as partners in crime fighting has created one of the most beloved dynamics on the show. The dynamic between Ruzek and Hollstead is one of the things that really works on Chicago PD, Soffer explained. They're both very different in their approach to policing, but they have this deep mutual respect for each other. They've been through a lot together, so it's always interesting to see how they handle difficult situations, both professionally and personally. There's this brotherly bond between them that I really enjoyed portraying. Soffer acknowledged that Ruzek's relationship with Hollstead has been a cornerstone of the series, and it's clear that their friendship has only grown stronger over time. Whether they're tackling a case together or supporting one another through personal challenges, Ruzek and Hollstead have become an inseparable duo that viewers can't get enough of. Soffer also mentioned that he enjoys the camaraderie they share and the way their friendship is tested and solidified in each episode. Sometimes the work they do can put a strain on their friendship, but at the end of the day they always have each other's backs, Soffer continued. It's something that has really been fun to explore, especially as Ruzek faces some of his own demons. Having someone like Hollstead to lean on is really important for him. Ruzeks Evolution and the challenges of being a police officer. As the show has progressed, Ruzek has grown and evolved in many ways, both as an officer and as a person. He's faced personal struggles, including the challenges of balancing his career and his relationships. Soffer noted that one of the most exciting aspects of playing Ruzek has been his growth, especially when it comes to his sense of responsibility and his role within the intelligence unit. Ruzek has always been a bit of a wild card, and that's what makes him so compelling, Soffer explained. He's not perfect, but he has a strong sense of right and wrong. Over the years we've seen him grow, especially in terms of taking on more responsibility. He's been through a lot of ups and downs, but at the end of the day he's always trying to do the right thing. Soffer reflected on Ruzek's internal struggles, including his battles with his temper and his complicated relationships, particularly with his family and romantic partners. The actor emphasized that these personal conflicts add depth to Ruzek's character, making him more relatable to viewers who have followed his journey over the years.